How do I, 19F, tell my mom, 44F, about a mistake I made? I did something that will ruin my relationship with my mom, but she deserves to know. The other night I was at a party and was drunk. I could barely even walk or talk and I was a mess. But I texted her and asked if she could pick me up. She was asleep, so I texted her boyfriend. Him and mom are 40-something. They've been together for a year. I just needed a ride home and he was awake and agreed. He came and picked me up and he started rubbing my thigh and I didn't tell him to stop, and one thing led to another and he went down on me. I didn't tell him to stop. I woke up sober and it's something I never would have done sober and it's my fault. We didn't have sex, but I feel disgusting and I don't really remember much, but I know it happened. And I feel sick. I can't even look my mom in the eyes and I just want to tell her what happened, but I am afraid. She doesn't deserve to be with a cheater and she doesn't deserve to have a liar daughter that does stuff with her boyfriend. I feel ashamed and I am sorry. She deserves to know the truth. She's my best friend, but she won't be after I tell her the truth. I am so sad and hate myself. Her boyfriend is acting like we should continue this and he keeps trying to have sex with me and keep it on the down low. I need to tell her I can't keep this in. I tell her everything and I know she's going to hate me, but I made a mistake and I need to own up to it. How do I approach having this conversation with her? You messaged him, a current father figure, to come get you home safe and he did the opposite. This isn't your fault, love. For your safety you need to tell her. Seems to me like you have a freeze reaction when in an emergency situation, and if he corners you again he may assault you again. Rapists look for the freeze victims that lock up. Sorry you are dealing with this. Your mom's boyfriend assaulted you whilst you were drunk. You didn't make any mistake. He did, and he's attempting to make further ones by trying to coerce you into doing more stuff with him. Tell your mom, another adult who you trust or know will believe you and help you stay safe if you think your mom might react in an extreme way. This man is a predator and needs to have his ass handed to the police before he does anything else. You were sexually assaulted. You should tell your mom and then head over to the police station for a report. You were drunk. So drunk that you, in your own words, could barely even walk or talk. You called an adult you trusted to get you home safely. This adult, who was completely sober and several decades older than you, did things without your permission. A lack of no is not a yes. I'm sorry this happened to you, but I promise you that none of this is your fault. The only person at fault for this is the sober 40-year-old man who should have kept his hands to himself. This is not your fault. It's his. He picked up a drunk teenager who had every reason to trust him and pressured you into sex. I don't know what your relationship with your mom was like before this. That's important info, but I suspect it was good, hence you phoning her to pick you up while in a vulnerable situation. So I think sit her down in a neutral place and say exactly what you've just told us. Remember when I texted you and you were asleep? I then texted X and he did come, but then he came onto me and I was too drunk to say no. I am wrecked with guilt. I wanted to just forget about it, but he seems to think this can continue. I'm not cool with that. I don't know what to do and I am so sorry about hurting you. I regret to inform you that what he did would basically be classified as SAW. If you were drunk, you could not have consented. I'm sorry. You were drunk. He sexually assaulted you. This wasn't your fault. Tell her, I am a mom and if this happened to my daughter, I would want to know. If she's a good mom, she will 1000% forgive you and always love you. And she will 10,000% hate that guy for assaulting you when you were drunk. If you're in the US, you aren't even legal drinking age. He should have picked you up, made sure you were safe, taken you home. What happened was not your fault. If you can't get the words out, maybe write them in a letter. Sit down with her and tell the facts exactly as they happened, and she'll know and understand that it was all his fault and that he was wrong. I hope she will protect you. I'm so sad and sorry that you have gone through this, and I wish I could give you a big hug. Your mom deserves to know the truth, and you deserve safe, loving care. I'm so sorry this happened to you. A lot of people are saying this is sexual assault, and I agree that it was. But I also know that you might not feel that way at this point, or you might not be ready to hear that. If you're not ready to call this sexual assault, just know that he took advantage of you, and that is not okay. He knew you would never do anything with him if you were sober enough to process what was happening. He went to pick you up with a plan for this to happen. You are not a bad person. The fact that you are beating yourself up for it shows that you are not a bad person. He is trying to have sex with you now. He is the bad person. Things might be rough with your mom for a while, but she will forgive you. If you're not ready to tell your mom what happened yet, maybe you can phrase it like this. Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm so sorry to tell you this. When I was really drunk last night, I called boyfriend's name to come pick me up, and he was inappropriately sexual with me. I didn't do anything back. In the moment I froze and I didn't stop it from happening. Today he is making more sexual advances towards me and I don't feel safe. Mom, I need your help. If she asks for details, you can tell her you're not ready to talk to her about it yet. But it was really bad and you need her help because he is trying to do it again. Your mom has been a woman in the world for far longer than you. If she's your best friend like you said, she will understand and she will kick him out of your lives. Good luck, baby girl. I know Mount Everest is on your shoulders right now. Just know you don't have to go to police or do anything else yet if you don't want to. But you do need to tell your mom so you can be safe, red heart. You texted him to pick you up and he took advantage of a drunk teenager. He sexually assaulted you. Consent means saying yes. You do not have to say no, and you were drunk to the point that you could not walk or talk. Many people freeze and are unable to say no. It's still sexual assault. You never consented because you could not consent. You should go to the police. Oral sex is sex. I don't know what they taught you in school, but it's sex, and forced oral sex is still sexual assault, rape. I am about your mom's age and I have a kiddo that is about your age. If she came to me and said this about my husband, who is not her dad, her and I would be filing a police report and getting that man far, far away from both of us. If you were drunk, you couldn't consent. If you didn't give consent freely and openly, it wasn't consent. And honestly, if your mom is a good mom at all, she will help you through this, not blame you. The boyfriend is at fault here. He is a predator, not you. I am so glad the comments are saying pretty much the same thing. You couldn't walk or talk properly and were a mess. You could not consent. A good mother would want to know because she would not want that kind of person around her child. How to approach? That's tough. Sit down, just the two of you. Start off by mentioning, remember that night I texted you and I was really drunk and couldn't walk? I texted BF because I didn't feel safe to get home safely by myself. And led into explaining what happened. Don't say you didn't tell him to stop. Explain you were too drunk to even fight him off. You couldn't speak and you didn't know what was happening until you woke up sober and realized that you were assaulted. You struggled to figure out how and if you should tell her, but you knew mom deserved the truth, and you just hope she will still love you and support you and know you did not consent to this. You didn't want to hurt her, but you're afraid. You were too intoxicated to consent. Anybody who says anything other than, "You're not at fault," is an asshat and plain wrong. Plenty of amazing advice, so I won't offer mine here, just sending hugs X. Your mom might initially be upset, but if she is at all a reasonable person, she will realize that her BF assaulted you when he should have been protecting you. This needs to be reported to the police. Ask your mother to go with you. Show her this post and go from there. What he did was saw. He is a boss. She doesn't deserve to be with a cheater predator. This is textbook saw. You were vulnerable and taken advantage of by someone you trusted. This is 100% not your fault. I'm roughly your mom's age, and if she is any kind of good mom, she will want to know and will kick that loser predator to the curb. This sends all my mama bear instincts into a fury. Get your mom alone and tell her that you were fall down drunk. Tried to text her for a ride, then contacted her boyfriend when she didn't answer, was asleep. He sexually assaulted you when he brought you home. He keeps trying to get you to have sex with him, and that is absolutely not okay. Nah, that's not her fault. He took advantage of you. An intoxicated person can't consent. Next time use rideshare or call her mom. Keeps trying to have sex with me and keep it on the down low. So you all live together? He's a predator. Get her alone and just tell her. I don't think she'll hate you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.